So I'm live. Hi everybody else. I'm Joe. Um, for those who don't know about me, I'm originally from Hong Kong and spent some years, with my family in Canada in Vancouver. Um, got the passport, got the nationality, and then moved back to Hong Kong after college. Um, Yeah, it was quite a fad at that time because, comparatively speaking, back then there are a lot more opportunities back in Hong Kong, especially when you have a foreign degree. It's not easy to find. It's not difficult to find jobs, but at the same time, it's relatively, in some good times. There's actually quite a lot of people that graduated from universities all over the world who went back to Hong Kong, and that was a good time, for about 15, 20 years. And since 2018, I've decided to, come back to Vancouver for the sake of my children. I have two kids. I have two girls. They are both at school right now. They're 5 and 10, respectively. And it's what I have to say. It's just night and day in terms of their um, quality of life, their happiness. As a family as a whole, we do have a lot more time being together, which is good. But at the same time, it's been a year since they've moved to Vancouver. Actually, I came back about 6 months earlier than they did, because they still had school at that time. So I was here on my own for about 6 months since the beginning of 2018, from January until July. And my wife and my kids were in Hong Kong. So basically, during that time, we have to look into, the time difference, and then we try to video chat with each other once or twice per day. And it's quite an experience when you've been with your family, with someone for 10, 12 years, or even more, and then all of a sudden you're on your own. Um, those were the tough times for me because being away from my family, um, getting back used to what Vancouver, Canada is. Well, I've been away for so long, right? Almost 15 years, 16 years. So I'm immigrating again. Um, and so everything is very different. Uh, the landscape of the city is different. I barely remember the roads, even though I had a good concept of where I am, as opposed to someone who's completely new, and just being on my own in the mornings. I had a job at that time. I was working full time, but after work, unlike Hong Kong, I pretty much went back home. Well, at that time, I rented a studio apartment. So I'm pretty much, homestayed most of the times. And yeah, looking back, it's quite something to remember. And eventually they came over in July last year. So it was really nice, really happy because apart from them, there's also other family members who travel together. There's some relatives from New York, from the States, and it made the place very, very exciting, and just everybody's it's happy. It's new place for everyone. We At that time we just rented a new townhouse, so everybody is happily situated. For quite some time, and yeah. It was relatively easy for me to get used to the pace of Vancouver because I used to live here for about 8 to 10 years. Whereas at that time, I didn't expect that my girls would be, getting used to this place so quick, which is a big plus because since they came in July, we immediately went to the school board to register for them. And we had to wait until almost the beginning of September to receive calls from the school board just to see if we could get into the catchment school, which is 2 blocks away from where we live right now. Fortunately, we got into that, and even better, my younger daughter got into the Montessori program, which, there's only 3 public schools here in the city of Richmond that offers this program. We believe that it's a better program for her personality. So we were happy. Whereas the challenge at that time would be whether my wife, who's born and raised and lived all her life in Hong Kong. So for her, that would be a challenge of whether she'll like this place. She's never, well, we've been here before, but not, as a long-term plan, as a long-term thing. So luckily, after almost about a year, she liked this place quite a bit. For one thing, her lifestyle changed drastically because she's been working since she was 18 or 19 years old. And after so many years, now because of her status, she is taking care of the kids most of the time, taking care of the house, all that good stuff. But it's a big change for her, obviously. And she seemed to be, taking it at a very, very positive side, which is good because by then it'll be a long-term thing for us. We intend to stay here for, at least when our girls graduate, and we'll see how it goes. But we get to we grow to love Vancouver more and more because of what this place brings to us, what it gives us as a family, and we feel like we have a second life. Not saying that Hong Kong it's bad, it's evil or anything. No, Hong Kong is a very convenient place. Lots of activities going on. Great people, great friends. It's just that as a family, it's not exactly the place where you want to raise your kids, if you know what I mean. And especially what happened, politically for the past couple months, like since 2019. I can see that more and more people like our situation who's, used to live or stay in Canada, move to Hong Kong, would definitely think about coming back because of the political situation, of how things are going on over there. I don't want to go into the specifics because I'm not an expert, but I can see from chats with friends from Hong Kong or abroad that more and more people are actually thinking about moving away from Hong Kong, which is sad, but a fact. So that's a reason why I want to be in this YouTube channel to share some of my thoughts, some of our experiences throughout this period. How did we go through, and what we are going through at this point. We're still adjusting because it's as a family, it's still less than a year, so it's a very short time. I'm working, so that takes up quite a bit of my time as well. But yeah, we'll be up and posting on some information. I've done some on Facebook, but that was primarily in Cantonese, Chinese. So with the YouTube channel, I'll try to make that as much English as possible to make it more international, so that people can share my experience, or just you're more than welcome to ask me anything in terms of our situation and how we're going through so far. So yeah, we'll stay in touch, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.